Good morning, students. Myself, H.S. Aishwara, Assistant Professor, Department of Zoology, Sahyadri Science College, ಶಿವಮೊಗ್ಗ. ಹೇಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ? ಹುಷಾರಾಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ಮನೆಯಿಂದ ಯಾರು ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಬರಬೇಡಿ. ಸ್ಯಾನಿಟೈಸರ್ನ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಮಾಸ್ಕ್ ಹಾಕ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ. ಈಗ ಕೋವಿಡ್ ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿನ್ಗೆ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೋವಿಡ್ ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿನನ್ನು ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. 6th ಸೆಮಿಸ್ಟರಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ 2 ಪೇಪರ್ ಇದೆ. ಒಂದು 6.1 ಮತ್ತೊಂದು 6.2. 6.1ನಲ್ಲಿ ಜೆನೆಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಬಯಾಲಜಿ ಇದೆ ಮತ್ತು ಎವಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಇದೆ. ನಾನು ಎವಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು 2 ಸಬ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ಸನ್ನು ತಗೊತೀನಿ. Today I am going to explain about evolution. The word evolution means unfolding or gradual development or change. The term evolution was first applied by the English philosopher Herbert Spencer. Evolution is a gradual, orderly change from one condition to another condition. Gradual, orderly changes of non-living world is called inorganic evolution. The evolution of new species from simpler organisms by gradual modifications is known as organic evolution. Herbert Spencer defined evolution as the development of more complex forms of life from simple and earlier forms. Evolution is not always from simple to complex. There are many examples of regressive evolution. For example, legless snakes originated from reptiles with legs. According to Darwin, evolution is descent with modifications. Descent means the process of origin of new species from an ancestral stock. Descent with modifications means the process of origin of new species from an ancestral stock by gradual modifications. Evolution is a slow process. Small change requires millions of years. Hence, it is impossible to see the actual process of evolution in one's lifetime. Evolution is a one-way process. There is no evidence show that evolution is other than one-way process. It never occurs in two ways. This phenomenon is called Dawes law. Evolution occurs by population and not by individuals. The ultimate result of evolution is the origin of a new species of plant or animal. This process is called speciation. Thus, change is a rule in the living world. There is nothing constant except constant change, and this change is called evolution. Next, theories of organic evolution. The theories of organic evolution are: number 1, Lamarckism, or the theory of inheritance of acquired characters. Number 2, Darwin-Wallace theory of natural selection. Number 3, mutation theory of Hugo de Vries. Number 4, synthetic theory of evolution. Next, Lamarckism. Lamarckism is also called the theory of inheritance of acquired characters. Lamarckism was proposed by a great French naturalist, Jean-Baptiste de Lamarck, in 1809. He published his ideas in the book Philosophy Zoologique with plenty of evidences in support of organic evolution. Lamarckism is based on the comparison between the contemporary species of his time to fossil records. Lamarckism is based on the inheritance of acquired characters, which are defined as the changes or variations developed in the body of organism from normal characters in response to the changes in the environment in their own lifetime to fulfill their new needs. Thus, Lamarck stressed on adaptation as means of evolutionary modification. The major principles or postulates of Lamarckism are as follows. Number one, effect of environment and new need. Number two, effect of use and disuse of an organ. Number three, inheritance of acquired characters. Number four, origin of new species or speciation. First principle, effect of environment and new need. According to Lamarck, environment plays an important role in evolution. Every living organism is found in some kind of environment. The changes in the environmental factors like light, temperature, food, air, etc., or migration of animal lead to the origin of new needs in the living organisms. To fulfill these new needs, the living organisms have to exert special efforts like the changes. Thus, new need leads to the development of new structure or character. Lamarck demonstrated the effect of rich and poor soil on the same species of plants. The plants growing in poor soil were small and weak, and those growing in rich soil were luxuriant and healthy. So, growth of plants are influenced by environmental changes. Environmental changes leads to the development of new need, and new need leads to the development of a new structure or a new organ. Second principle, effect of use and disuse of an organ. The new habits involve the greater use of certain organs to meet new needs, and the disuse or lesser use of certain other organs which are of no use in new conditions. This use and disuse of organs greatly affect the form, structure, and functioning of the organs. Continuous and extra use of organs make them more efficient, while the continued disuse of some organs lead to their degeneration and ultimate disappearance. So Lamarckism is also called the theory of use and disuse of organs. Example of disuse of an organ. An amphibian Proteus lives in caves. Because of darkness in caves, the eyes were not used for many generations. Finally, the eyes become degenerated, and in extreme cases, eyes disappear completely. Example of use of an organ. The ancestral giraffes were short-necked and short-legged animals. They lived on plains and grazed on grass. When environmental conditions changed and grass almost disappeared, there was a need to feed on the leaves of trees. To get the leaves, the giraffe had to stretch its neck and limbs. Due to continuous stretching, the short-necked and short-legged giraffe became long-necked and long-legged giraffe. Third principle, inheritance of acquired characters. So the organism acquires certain new characters due to direct or indirect environmental effects during its own lifespan and are called acquired characters or adaptive characters. Lamarck believed that acquired characters are inheritable and are transmitted to the offsprings so that these are born fit to face the changed environmental conditions and the chances of their survival are increased. Fourth principle, origin of new species. Lamarck believed that in every generation, new characters are acquired and transmitted to next generation, so that new characters accumulate generation after generation. After a number of generations, a new species is formed. New species is formed by the gradual accumulation of useful characters. So, according to Lamarck, an existing individual is the sum total of the characters acquired by a number of previous generations, and the speciation is a gradual process. Next, criticism of Lamarckism. A hard blow to Lamarckism came from a German biologist, August Weismann, who proposed the theory of continuity of germplasm in 1892. This theory states that environmental factors do affect only somatic cells and not the germ cells, as the link between the generations is only through the germ cells and somatic cells are not transmitted to the next generation. So the acquired characters must be lost with the death of the organism. So these should have no role in evolution. The major criticism against Lamarckism are as follows. Number one, the human heart is put to use continuously, still it remains in the same size generation after generation. Number two, an injury mark or loss of limb by soldier is not inherited to his son or daughter. Number three, Indian women make a hole in their ear pinna to wear ornaments. This character is not inherited to their children. Number four, August Weismann in his experiment cut the tail of rat for more than 20 generations. Rats were born with tails with normal length, showing that acquired characters were not inherited. According to August Weismann germplasm theory, any character acquired by somatic cells cannot be transmitted to offsprings. That's why the loss of limb by a soldier is not inherited by his son. On the other hand, germ cells or gametes of parents are transmitted to offsprings. So any change that occurs in the gametes is transmitted to the offsprings. So Lamarckism was rejected. That's all. Have a nice day.